ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء. واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد عباد الله، اعلموا أن خير الكلام كلام الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. Few in-house ruling. I'm one of those very easily aggravated speakers. I don't like, now here we have Safa wa Marwa, mashallah, tabarakallah. From bab to bab, from door to door, we're doing Safa wa Marwa. You gotta sit once and once only. Should not be back and forth, because if the people going back and forth, the one who's walking is not benefiting, and the one who's sitting trying to listen is not benefiting. And the sister on the other side, it sounds like Niagara Falls, an FM channel. They have to be quiet, inshallah. Should I go and talk to them? طيب. I need to shut up. Shaykh saying shut up, rawahu Muslim. Any Muslim. Say shut up. We're talking about very, very sensitive issue, important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي. Today I have perfected you, your religion. And Islam or any religion cannot be perfect, never be perfect if you did not talk about marriage. It cannot be perfect. Because what drives you to marriage is a human nature, it's innate, fitrah. You are attracted to the opposite side because there's a fitrah in you. That's how Allah built you. That's how you were created. Not by choice, not you desire, you create that desire, or you stimulate that desire because you're taking tablets and pills and so on. No, you were created that way because this is part of your existence. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. Today I have perfected your religion. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu said, anything that wasn't deen that day can never be deen any day. If at the day that Allah revealed, اليوم أكملت لكم, today I have perfected your religion, anything that wasn't deen that day cannot be deen any other day. Because if I come and I say I have to do this act of worship, and this is not from the Quran, this is not from the Sunnah, but this is what my Shaykh taught me, Abdullah ibn Abbas is saying, then you claiming that the messenger of Allah cheated the message of Allah. Because if you say that, if you say I'm doing something, I'm adding something to the deen, and this is bid'ah, hasan is a good bid'ah, then you claiming Rasulullah is a cheater, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because Allah said, Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. And the messenger of Allah said, there is no khayr except that I guided you to. So the marriage and the subject of marriage is part of our deen. Marriage takes steps and stages. And we will be talking bi-idhnillah some of the stages that is necessary. There's a stage before marriage, and the stage before marriage and before nikah, and the stage of the wedding and the nikah and all that, and the actual marriage and how you should maintain that marriage, and the level or the class where you now a family, have children, how to teach those children, and the issue of how to resolve conflict in the family. I cannot cover all that, but these are the steps and the stages of marriage. How to maintain marriage. First of all, I want to remove something out of the way. And all the generations, they do believe, but they don't act accordingly. It became very vivid, very clear, very apparent with the new generation. And the new generation here, we're talking about the idea of these people who lived through love and romance. They've been watching movies, happily ever after. You know, they see this life on TV, and it is very, very, very Hollywood made life, you know, and marriage. And the idea is, mashallah, you go into a mall or to a building, and oh my God, you see this beautiful young lady, her hair is flying, mashallah, 2 miles behind her, she's running left and right, and then you fall in love for the first time, and then you know, don't know what to say, how to approach, what to do, and then all of that, and then you fall in love, both of you, and then you get into a fight. And then that fight is almost, you know, crucifies that relationship. And then you come back together at the end of the movie. And the movie shows that you're living happily ever after. Am I right? Fake. All fake. Most of it fake. There's nothing called marriage without a problem. Nothing, there's including the marriage of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there is no marriage without issue. There is no marriage that is happily ever after. You don't fight with your wife, you don't fight with your husband. So we want to talk about love, which is something that the media shows more than anything else, that the singers, they sing about, you know, people who wants to do any shows about love and so on. So we want to talk about love. What does Islam say about love? Is love haram or halal? يا عباد الله
حلال وحرام
حلال وحرام أحسنت. Halal if you go through the proper channels, haram if you go through the wrong proper channel, the wrong channels. No problem about that one, nothing about proper about that one. Wrong channels. Did the Messenger of Allah acknowledge the existence of love? Absolutely, he acknowledged it. Listen to this. First hadith في سنن ابن ماجه وغيره وصححه الألباني رحمه الله. A man comes to the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال يا رسول الله, I am a guardian of a yatima, young lady. She's yatima, I'm her guardian. And 2 men came forward to marry and asking for the hand of this young lady. أحدهما, one of them, he's a wealthy man. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. He's a grease man, as they say. He can lubricate some of the hardships of the community, of the family. He can give camels, goats, and all this. He's a wealthy man. And we want that man to marry because he can financially take care of her. He can financially take care of us. He is a man of wealth. قَالَ وَنَحْوَ نُحِبُّهُ. And we like that one. قَالَ وَرَجُلٌ مَعْدُومٌ. And a man who's ma'doom has nothing. Has nothing. No wealth. No BMW. No nice, in Canada we call it Lexus. You guys have Lexus here? Yeah. And only a few, I think, a fraction. Lexus is over there like McDonald's. They're all over the place. Lexus, Mercedes and BMW is nice over there. This guy has none of them. But she loves it. She loves him, sir. She loves him. We want the wealthy guy, but she wants the poor guy. What did the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said? He said, marry her the one that she loves. Marry her the one that she loves. And then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam قال لم يرى المتحابين مثل النكاح. Subhanallah. He said, those who think they're in love, they have never seen anything like that, the true love, except after nikah. They will not see the true love of what they assume is love until they get married to one another. So the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he acknowledged that this young lady, she loves that man, and he said, don't marry her the one that you want, the one that you like, because you think he can take care of her financially, but marry her the one that she loves. Is her life not your life? Is her heart not your heart? It is her that she has to suffer through this marriage or enjoy through this marriage. You have no right to break young lady's heart and force her to marry someone else. Also, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Sahih al-Bukhari, remember hadith Barira and Mughith? Barira and Mughith, both of them used to be slaves. Mughith was a slave who used to serve his master. No issue, good guy. And he's married to this young lady by the name Barira. Barira was smart though. Sometimes, a lot of times, but sometimes the young lady is more active, more smarter, quicker, than her husband. Barira used to do all the necessary needed work for her master. She used to come and help Aisha around the house, radiallahu anha. So Aisha and Barira became friends. Aisha, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when Allah revealed the Quran, if you have a slave that you need a mukataba, that needs to write, have a mukataba, he wants to purchase him or herself, so he can be free, as a mu'mineen, we have to comply with that. So Barira said, I need you to help me, Aisha. Help me with this. So Aisha and the Messenger of Allah, they got involved, and they were able to get enough money for Barira to buy herself up. Now she became a free woman. Now if a slave girl who's married becomes a free, then she has two options. To stay with her husband or walk away from the marriage. She can divorce him on the spot. So the sister and the Sahabiya, this Mughith and Barira, she said to her husband, Jazakallah khair, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, see you. I'm done. Mughith could not believe that his wife left him, and he was madly in love. And when she's walking between the house of Aisha and going around the city of Medina, Mughith used to walk behind her and used to say, Barira, please take me back. I love you, Barira. I'll do anything, just take me back. And Barira would not even look at him. He would just keep going. So the Messenger of Allah, he felt sorry for Mughith. قال لعباس أما تعجبين من حب مغيث لبريرة وبغض بريرة لمغيث. He said, isn't it amazing how much he loves her and how much she despises him? It's different, subhanAllah. Two different people. So what did the Messenger of Allah do? Did he go to Mughith and say, have haya, stay where you are, don't run after this lady, she is no longer your wife? No. Messenger of Allah, he understood the human nature that he cannot control. So what did he do? He went to Barira. فَقَالَ يَا Barira, he is the father of your children. He was your husband. Take him back. So Barira said, Ya Rasulullah, is it an order that you're giving me, or is it just shafi'? قال ما أنا إلا شفيع. I'm just interceding for this man. She said, Ya Rasulullah, I don't want him. I don't want him. Even after the Rasulullah requested her to take him back, she said, I don't love him. I don't want the man. The lesson that I'm trying to prove here, Messenger of Allah did not scold Mughith, did not say you're being, unintelligent or you're doing haram thing, but rather he tried to help him out, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So as a Muslim, as Islam, our deen, it teaches us to respect that and to acknowledge that and to make sure that we understand. And that's why if someone comes to you, or your son or your daughter comes to you and they say, I like this person, I love this person, I want to be with this person through halal channels, not the dating channels, halal channels, you as a parent should cater to the need of your child. Don't try to block that, because if you do it, then the price will be very high. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, was he in love? Oh yes, he was in love. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He used to say about Khadija, قال رزقت بحبها, subhanallah. He said, I was giving the love for Khadija as a rizq. Allah bless me. And when Hala bint Khuwaylid, who's Hala bint Khuwaylid? Sister of Khadija, after the death of Khadija, when he hears the sound and the voice of Hala, he used to, Allahumma Hala bint Khuwaylid, Allahumma Hala. He used to panic, sallallahu alayhi, get emotional, because her voice, radiallahu anha, it was exactly the same voice of Khadija. And every time that she speaks, his heart, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, used to move. And remember in the battle of Badr, remember, Zaynab's husband, Zaynab bint Muhammad's husband, he came to fight against the Messenger of Allah, and he was captured. He was a prisoner. And when the Messenger of Allah saw him, he walked away and he said, ask them, all of them, if they can ransom themselves. Where is Zaynab bint Muhammad? Zaynab bint Muhammad is still in Makkah, because she was with her husband in Makkah. Stayed in Makkah. Didn't make it with her father who was a Nabi. She's a Muslimah and she stayed in Makkah behind. So the letter gets to Zaynab that you need to ransom your husband from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So she sent the ransom, she sent the gold. What did she send? Subhanallah. Look how emotional Rasulullah got. She sent a necklace. Subhanallah. She sent a necklace. And they brought the necklace to the Messenger of Allah. And tears start coming from the eyes of Rasulullah. Do you know why? Because this necklace used to belong to Khadija, and Khadija gave it to her daughter on her wedding night. Subhanallah. And when he remembered Khadija, he got emotional, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he put it back, and he said to the Sahaba, in shi'tum, look at that, how kind. If you want, give this back to her and send him away. Just because he saw the necklace of Khadija, he could not hold back his tears, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He could not. So he was in love, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Also, When Amr bin As, when he became a Muslim, radiyallahu anhu, when he became a Muslim, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam welcomed him so much, Amr bin As قال فظننت إني أحب الناس إليه. I thought Amr bin As, who fought against the Messenger of Allah in the Battle of Uhud, who was one of the reasons that Hamza was killed, one of the reasons Mus'ab bin Umair was killed. After I accepted Islam, the way that the Messenger of Allah welcomed me, I thought I am the most beloved man amongst the Sahaba. And I wanted to try to test that. So I went to him. فقلت يا رسول الله من أحب الناس إليك؟ قال عائشة. على طول. He did not say, okay, let me tell you behind closed doors, or let me write it for you, or let me know. He openly said, I love Aisha. يقول فقلت من الرجال يا رسول الله. I want to know about men. You know what? That's okay. قال أبوها. Look, he didn't say Abu Bakr. He didn't say Abu Bakr. قال أبوها, her father. هذا إكرام لمن؟ لعائشة. قال her father. So love in Islam exists. Not only that, Allah said subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ subhanahu خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ خَلْقُ this, your language, the color of your skin, the mountains, the sky, the orbits, the universe, the galaxy. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ also أَنْ جَعَلَ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Mawaddah, what does it mean? Love and mercy. So we as Muslims, we acknowledge, and we have to show love towards our spouse, towards, as a matter of fact, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, عُرَبًا أَتْرَابًا, عُرَبًا أَتْرَابًا, He said women that shows, her love to her husband, and the women of Jannah, and not those, now women, nowadays ladies, dunya, not here, dunya, that when you come home, she's mashallah, her mouth, mashallah, you sleep, she's still talking, mashallah, you die, your janazah, she's still talking over your dead body, it won't be. Women of Jannah, عُرَبًا أَتْرَابًا يَتَحَبَّبُونَ أي إلى أزواجهم. They try to show compassion, love, emotion, intimacy to their husbands. So in Islam, absolutely, we acknowledge the love that exists, and we cannot deny, otherwise it would be stupidity for us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not create with these emotions in us at the same time, ignore it, and say there's no love. Now, when it comes to marriage, in marriage is like any other project. You want to travel, you plan for it. You want education, you plan for it. You want business, you plan for it. Everything that you do must be based on plan. You just don't do things haphazard. You just don't do things because, what do you see, boom, that doesn't work. So we want to talk about things that you should do and what to plan and how to plan in marriage. First of all, marriage, as we mentioned, extremely is important because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us, وَهَذَا لَيْسَ أَمْرٌ مُوجِبٌ, ordered us to marry, and He said, فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِنَ النِّسَاءِ Mathna, كلكم حافظين Mathna. All of you remember Mathna. You don't remember the beginning of the ayah, but you remember Mathna wa Thulatha wa Ruba'. Tabarakallah. No, فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم. Allah said, أنكحوا, marry. والله يقول وأنكحوا الأيام منكم وأنكحوا الأيام منكم والصالحين من عبادكم. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, not only that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling all the prophets of Allah, except with the exceptions of Yahya, they had families and wives and children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلًا مِنْ قَبْلِ وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُمْ أَزْوَاجًا هَا يَا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ وَذُرِّيَّةً. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of the messengers that was sent before you, we gave them children and wives and children. I'm sorry. So we understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging us to do this. Why marriage, ya ibadallah? Why do we have to get married? And what is the benefit of marriage? I want to go quick over this very quickly because I want to finish hopefully not too long. The benefit of marriage. Why do we get married? Sometimes for worldly gain. Isn't that true, ya ibadallah? Anyone who's sitting here, who is smart, understand, who knows the Sharia, if you want wealth, if you want money, get married. See, people, they think the other is the other way. No, first I have to get a job, I have to save some money, then I'll get... No. Allah is saying, إِن يَكُونُوا فُقَرَاء يُغْنِيهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. If they were fuqara, Allah is saying, if they are poor, Allah will provide them from His fadl. Not from your pocket, from His fadl, subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to understand that. Aisha radiyallahu anha used to say, if you want Allah to give you rizq, brothers, listen to this, have more wives and more children. Every husband was like, mashallah, I'm good to her. My dear, the Shaykh said, if you want more, no. But he said, Aisha radiallahu anha used to say, if you want more rizq, have more wives and more children. Because that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides the rizq. نَحْنُ نَرْزُقُكُمْ وَإِيَّاكُمْ. So it's not, that's how I see, wallahi. When I got married, first day I got married, I got fired. MashaAllah. First day. And I had $20. When my second daughter was born, I had $0. And more than what I had $0. And then me, my wife and my daughter, then the second one comes, it's like, from where? But the day that she was born, February 11, I got so much money. So much money. Why? Because she was born with her rizq. Subhanallah, she was born with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is another girl and this is the rizq. That's how Allah works. So, and look at the young men who comes to the masjid. Look at those, look at them. Before marriage, unkept hair, you don't know whether he's going or coming, his throat is all wrinkled, mashallah, he's going with the public transportation, but one of them gets married, mashallah. The Vaseline is all over his face, he's shining, tabarakallah. His hair is being, made and, maintained. His throat is pressed like, crystal, mashallah. And he is all of a sudden, he has a little car. Where did he get the car from? And from Allah. From Allah. When you get married, Allah provides for you. It's not the other way around. You don't lose with marriage. As a matter of fact, you gain with marriage. Second reason that we marry is because of al-wajah. Status. Marriage gives you status. You know that. As soon as you get married, if I have two young men, same age, same family, same degree, same job, one of them is married and one of them is not married, automatically the one that is married gets more respect. Why? Because it's haiba. That's why you see all these presidents and rulers, every one of them has to have wife. Everybody has to have wife. The president of America, United States, Trump. He's married. I don't know why she married him other than the money, but he's married. The one before married, any king, any ruler, married. It's his status. Have you ever seen a person that's running for an election and he's not married? It's a status. It gives you status. That is who you are. So what marriage is the same thing. It gives you respect of the community. Other reasons that we marry, we ask Allah to bless us through marriage, righteous children. That's what the Salih. The Shaykh earlier was saying, إِذَا مَاتَ ابْنَ آدَمْ إِنْقَطَعَ عَمَلُهُ إِلَّا مِنْ ثَلَاثٍ. One of those three is وولد صالح يدعو له. يدعو له. ابتغاء. Umar bin Khattab, what did he used to say? قال والله إني لأتكلف بالجمع لأتكلف رجاء أن يرزقني الله منها ولد صالح. He said, Wallahi, I do, I have intimacy with my wife, even though I'm tired, I'm old, whatever reasons, hoping that Allah may give me a righteous child from that wife. لأتكلف, subhanallah, رغبة بولد صالح. Also, there are many benefits, inshallah, that we cannot go over them, but we want to go over the quality of a righteous husband. I have so much to want to address, but I don't want to address this right now. But I will address one point before I go to a righteous husband. I have 8 other points that I want to address with. But one of the reasons that really creates obstacles in front of young people. What is it? Let me hear. I want to hear, because I do this all the time. What do غلاء النهور أحسن? Especially in Arab countries, in Arab community. One of the reasons that young people don't want to get married, because the dowry is extremely high. Is extremely high. And then we try to trick. So we said 5,000 مقدم و500,000 مؤخر. They don't do 500, but they do 50,000. They say 5,000 cash right now and 50,000 in case. Which means in case. This is the insurance that they're buying for their daughter. In case you divorce her, in case you die after you make enough money, in case. And not only that, we request a lot of things. Wedding for women, wedding for men, wedding for, mahar, or حفلة المهر, حفلة الدخلة, حفلة الزفاف, حفلة إيش, and so much. But Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what did he say about dowry? يقول في مسند أحمد من يمن المرأة، يقول من بركة المرأة، من بركة البنت يعني تيسير خطبتها وتيسير مأمونتها. He said it's taysir, the easiest, more easy the sister, the accessible and more easy the marriage is, more barakah Allah will put. But we think, if we say, if a man comes to you and he wants to marry your daughter, if you just say, okay, bismillah, take her, Allah, may Allah bless you, you think you gave your daughter away. But that's not the case. Remember, Said bin Musayyib rahimahullah, he had one beautiful daughter, Fatima. Who was her grandmother? Who was her grandfather from the mother's side? Abu Hurairah. Because Sayyid al-Musayyib's wife is the daughter of Abu Hurairah, radiyallahu anhu. And all the umara, all the ru'asa, they want to marry her or marry her to their son. And Sayyid ibn Musayyib is like, no, I don't want you to marry now. Look at the mahr. Then one day Abdullah ibn Wada or Abdullah ibn Kathir, there's a different narration. One of the students, poor students, Isa. So Zakaria. Zakaria someone. أنا هذا يسمى. هذا هذا. أنا هذا سماه. طيب هو مين اللي بيتكلم أنا ولا أنت؟ طيب you're still talking. So this student, poor student, simple student, very poor student, غاب عن الحلقة 3. He missed the حلقة 3 days. He missed the حلقة. No, leave them, شيخ خلي. He missed the حلقة 3 days. So he comes back to his Imam Shaykh Said. فقال أين كنت؟ قال يا إمام ماتت زوجتي. My wife died. And I was busy with the burials, with all this. قال, did he say, did you remarry? Yeah, Shaykh. I just bury her. And besides, who's going to marry me their daughter? فَأَنَا أَفْقَرُ النَّاسِ. I have nothing. قال سعيد أنا أزوجك ابنتي. I married my daughter. He could not believe. He said, you? He said, yes. قال لا أملك إلا 3 دنانير. I only have 3 dinars. He said, more than enough. Shaykh Said bin Musayyib, he called 2 witnesses. He married his daughter to this Abdullah ibn Kathir, Abdullah ibn. 3 dinars. يقول وكنت صائمة. I was fasting. فذهبت إلى بيتي. I went to my house. لأتناول العشاء. I'm in the masjid. Maghrib came. Isha came. I'm still in the masjid instead of shocked. Did I really marry the daughter of Said? He said, I went home and I sat in front of little plate. On the plate there's a dry bread and little oil. So I'm dipping. That's how poor the guy was. He said, I'm dipping the oil in the bread into the oil and I'm taking 1 bite at a time, trying to process what just happened. وَإِذَا بِطَارِقٍ. Somebody's knocking on the door. فَقُلْتُ مَنْ. I said, who is it? Who is it? قال سعيد. قال فَتَفَكَّرْتُ. He said, I تذكرت. I remember every Sa'id I listen. He said, Sa'id, no, Sa'id, no, Sa'id, sorry. إِلَّا سعيد بن مسيب. Except Sa'id. قال ففتحت الباب فإذا سعيد بن مسيب. And I thought maybe he changed, like, wow, he came to his sense, like, no, give me back, divorce my daughter for me. I was out of it. فقلت يا شيخ, why didn't you ask me? I could have come to you. قال تذكرت أنك here in the city. وأن امرأتك عن زوجتك, your wife is in the city. فكرهت أن تبات, and I hated for you to sleep here alone. And he moved aside, and his daughter, Fatima, is standing behind him. He pushed her inside the house, he closed the door, Assalamu alaikum. This young lady, she doesn't WhatsApp boys, she has no Facebook picture with the red lips up to the ears, mashallah. And then she goes under the light and she takes a picture and then, hold on, Abdi, my name is Hold on, Abdi, mashallah. She did not do any of that. She did not talk to the boys in school. She never communicated with guys. She comes, she lives with her family, and no relation. When she realized she is alone with this strange man who became her husband, she passed out, she fainted. She fainted. Panic. First time ever being a strange man alone with a strange man. يقول Abdullah. Then I panicked and I went to the roof. My mother is around. I went to the roof. فقلت فصرخت يعني I raised my voice. فقلت يا أيها الناس, at the top of it in after Salat al-Isha, by the way. يا أيها الناس سعيد بن المسيب زوجني بنته. I said to everybody, Sa'id ibn Musayyib married me his daughter. وَهِيَ مَعَي. I don't want anybody to think I'm bringing this funny lady. As she is with me. He said, an old lady is screaming from the neighbor, إِنَّكَ لَكَاذِبْ. You are lying. Why would Sa'id ibn Musayyib marry his daughter? They're useless. He said, my mother heard my scream. She ran back to the house and she realized, it's true, Fatima bint Sa'id is at home. قالت فخرج. She asked him to leave the house. قال فأصلحت من شأنها. He said she took care of him. I'm sorry. She mashallah prepared her very well for me. And then later on she called me. قال فدخلت عليها. And she, for the first time, I've seen my wife. فإذا هي من أجمل نساء الدنيا. She is one of the most beautiful women on earth. He says, Subhanallah. فَنُمْتُ خَيْرَ اللَّيْلِ. He said, that was the best night of my life. In the morning, he said, I got up. I'm ready to go to the halaqah. فَقَالَتْ إِلَىٰ أَيْنِ. Where are you going? He said, I'm going to learn from your father. قَالَتْ إِجْلِسْ فَعِلْمَ أَبِي عِنْدِي. Sit down, the knowledge of my father is right here with me. I know everything my father knows. Look at that deal. It's not even Christmas deal. Better than Christmas deal, mashallah. You know. Not, subhanallah. not only beautiful, righteous wife, but alima. But what was her mahar? What was it? Because the barakah is fi taqleel al-mahar. Other obstacle that young people face is the obstacle of a discrimination, racism. We discriminate each other. I know for a fact, worst people when it comes to discrimination are us. Wallahi, you guys complain about white people and you say they discriminate us or they racist, that they do this. Wallahi, we are worse than them. We are worse than, and I'm not, when I say wallahi, in terms of discrimination, not in terms of other things, we are worse than them. A person who comes to you, I'm from Somalia. There are certain tribes that we're not allowed to marry from them. And they can't marry from us. So, the young man, if your daughter says to you, Abu, like dad, young man came to me and he wants to come and see you. What would you say as a father? What tribe is he from? You won't say, Matukada, does he pray? Does he go to the masjid? Is he having the kitabillah? You will say, what qabil is he from? What qabil is it? Every Arab country is like that. Every Arab country. If it's not the color of your skin, it's your background, it's your tribe, it's your qabila, it's your family. And we don't look at people based on what we see. We judge them based on what they came, things that they have no authority over. Nobody can say, Ya Allah, I'm putting down an application to be born from Qabila Bani Fulan, or from that color of skin. It was a gift from Allah. And you say, I don't like the gift that Allah gave you, and I don't like you. Bilal bin Rabah, who did he marry? He married the sister of Abdurrahman bin Auf. And Bilal, رجل حبشي. And Abdurrahman bin Auf, رجل قرشي. And he is one of the wealthiest. And this Bilal bin Rabah, رجل مسكين. But it wasn't about, tribes, because already Allah revealed to them, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. So let us move on about the sifat. Az-zawj as-salih. Az-zawj as-salih. Let me, before this, I also add, one of the reasons that young people don't marry, especially from the sister side, is a tartib. Have you seen my, he's on point. The second one is a job. Let's talk about the job. A lot of parents, they use their children as an investment, especially girls. So they say, okay, we'll help you, we will, mashallah, finish education. Now you finish, go get a job, so you can bring income to the family. So somebody comes and, no, not you, you're not ready yet. You didn't bring enough money home yet. Just wait, inshallah. Wait until you make enough money. After enough money, you can marry whoever you want to marry. So wadifa, and that's also from the boys. They think until they have a job. No, both of them wrong. Because the rizq comes from Allah. But there's an adat in certain people that the daughters have to marry in order. So the first one have to get married, the oldest, then the second have to get married, then the third. Boys, they can, overlook sometimes, but girls are very persistent, which is wrong. Wrong. If you see this young lady and she's number 3 or number 5, and the other one, the rizq did not come yet, because marriage is a rizq, why would you deprive her from this righteous young man? Because of order? When the rizq comes, the rizq comes. So imagine the first one did not get married, and she's 48 years old. And the second, because I do have cases, when the young lady, she said, I am 29 years old, and I want to get married. I said, Bismillah. There have so many brothers, mashallah, come to the masjid, they're all like this, tabarakallah. She said, I can't. Why? Because I have sisters ahead of me. So, my parents won't let me get married until they get married. And some of them are 47. And what are they waiting for? Retirement? Taqa'ah? At the age of 47, she's not married. What are you waiting for the rest? No. Don't do this. If she's ready for marriage, and the person that came to your daughter, he's righteous, why would you in the world, why would you reject that person? Why? Because of culture? Because it is not you who decide who should get married, what and when they should marry. So this is very important. Other thing that, and this happens to a sister most of the time, they don't want to marry a man who was married before or already married. It's your choice. This is a free country. But which one do you rather? Someone who has no deen, who will leave you tomorrow with 3 kids or 2 kids, who does not care about you, or someone who will maintain the family and take you and him to Al-Firdaus Al-A'la. We have to be smart. And the number of women is less than the number of men. I'm sorry, I mean the number of women are more than the number of men. So how do we want to do if we don't want to follow the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the order of Allah or the recommendation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? طيب. Let us talk about the... I hate talking too much and I've been talking too much. Let us talk about the sifat zawj as-salih, the quality of a righteous husband. First, the man that you want to marry my sister, and I will also talk about the sisters, the sifat of the sister. This one they actually share is deen. Deen. Both of them, وَلَا عَبْدٌ مُؤْمِنٌ خَيْرٌ مِنْ مُشْرِكٍ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَ. So Allah says, slave, a believing slave is better than a mushrik, even though you might like him better. You might like him better. So, person have to be, you have to choose that person because of deen. But sometimes because deen today became so thin, I asked this young man, as he said, Shaykh Said, I found a sister, mashallah, tabarakallah. I said, tabarakallah. How is her deen? He said, her deen is good, mashallah. I said, does she wear hijab? He said, Allahu Akbar, she covers her hair, but her neck, mashallah, is just showing right here, and the ears, mashallah. That's the standard of that young man. When it comes to deen, she covers her hair, tabarakallah, but the neck and the ears are open land, Allahu Akbar. Everybody can see. She wears t-shirts and jeans, walillahi alhamd. See, that is not deen. That's not deen. That's, fooling yourself, claiming that you follow deen. When I say deen, you want someone who's on the deen of Allah, who fears Allah, who prays all 5 times, as many times he can in the masjid, who comes to the halaqat, who learns, sister who wears hijab, sister who wears no makeup, no nothing, no fake eyelashes, tabarakallah, taking off, tabarakallah. Some of the sisters, they wear eyelashes, saying they are Heathrow Airport, they're going to take the plane, going to take off, mashallah. None of them, someone that is grounded, walillahi alhamd, someone who fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, none of the nonsense. Someone who wants to learn the deen. That's what we say, deen. That's what we talk about, deen. She has to have deen. You have to have deen. It's not one foot dunya and one foot akhirah. And by the way, I'm telling you this, at the time of marriage, most of the time, at the time of marriage, that's the best she can be. That's the best he can be. At the time of marriage, that's the best in everything, in akhlaq, in appearance, in deen, in ilm, because most of us, men and women, as soon as we get married, we take each other for granted. You know, we're no longer the people that we used to be at the time of engagement, at the time of nikah. No more. So when it comes to deen, this is the best time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to choose, He said, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. And Allah said, وَالطَّيِّبَاتُ لِلطَّيِّبِينَ وَالطَّيِّبُونَ لِلطَّيِّبَاتِ. You can't be marrying someone who's not tayyib. You can't be marrying someone who is not tayyibah. So she has to be good inside out. He has to be good inside out, both of them. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam encouraged us as parents. I'm a parent. And he said, إِذَا أَتَاكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ. If a man comes to you and you're satisfied with two things, deen and manners, deen wa khuluq, فَزَوِّجُوهُ, let him marry your daughters. Did he say color? Did he say size? Did he say money? Did he say wealth? No. Subhanallah. You know, I know somebody that a young Muslim, young man came to him and he was faqir, but he was a man of deen. And he said to him, I want to marry your daughter. He says she's not ready, you know, she has to finish her school. You know, inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when she becomes ready, alhamdulillah, come back. And then a month later, subhanallah, a young man, no deen, no nothing, mashallah, Jum'ah, the first one he goes to the masjid and he prays. The other one, he goes to the nightclub and he, mashallah, he has his own prayer over there at night. You know, a person who has no deen. And then he married his daughter to that man. And I said, wait a second, what happened? She wasn't ready. He said, mashallah, she wants him. She doesn't want him, but mashallah. And he said, Allah will guide him. I said, how come you didn't say the first one, Allah will give him a rizq? How come you didn't say Allah will provide for him? Is it the same Allah that you're making dua? Why don't you say to the first one, the poor simple man, when he came to you and he says, I have nothing, marry my daughter, oh Allah give him rizq. This useless one came to you and he is going to take your daughter to a nightclub and you say Allah will guide him? Is it إِذَا أَتَاكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. This is what it is. I think I want to stop here because we will not finish. I have almost 22 more pages. And I don't want you guys to do Qiyam al-Layl or Taraweeh here. No, I want you to pray Salat al-Fajr. So we will start the whole thing 7:15. And we will give 7 minutes right now for question and answer. Tomorrow we will cover, I have 2 sessions tomorrow. One of them will be continuation of this, inshallah. And bi-idhnihi subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now if you have questions, sisters, you can write it down, alhamdulillah. I need someone to come here and read the questions for me. And the brothers, please raise your hand. If you don't want to listen, and I'm serious about this, if you don't want to listen, I would have so much respect for you if you calmly stand up, walk out of that door. If you don't want to leave, then please do not talk. It is very inappropriate for you to speak when someone else is speaking. Also, someone is asking a question because he needs the answer, wants to share something with us. You have to pay respect to everybody as we are paying respect to whatever you want to do. Next.
جزاك الله خير الله يفتح عليك ان شاء الله يسكن العربي ورني
اللي يريح
الله يبارك فيك يعني في حديثك وكما هو معلوم يعني ان وان يكونوا فقراء يغنيهم الله والرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول يا معشر الشباب من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج كيف نجمع بين هاتين الاثنين؟
نعم. طيب, the Shaykh Jazakallah Khair is asking, and he said, there's an ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ وَالصَّالِحِينَ مِنْ عِبَادِكُمْ إِنْ يَكُونُوا فُقَرَاءَ يُغْنِيهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. If they are poor, Allah will provide from His ni'mah, from His fadl. And the second one, it says, the hadith is said, في في حديث عبد الله بن مسعود في صحيح البخاري ومسلم يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج. He said, how are we going to reconcile these two, texts, these two beautiful statements? Of course, النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في حديث صحيح الألباني say حق على الله. He say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He made wajib upon Himself to help three categories of people. One of them, a man or a person who wants to marry, يبغي العفاف. He wants dignity, chastity. He doesn't want to do. Now, the ayah, Allah said, يُغْنِيهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِ. Allah will provide from His rizq, from His fadl. We also understand the hadith يقول من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج في فتح الباري للحج العسقلاني في شرح صحيح البخاري. They are beautiful interpretation about the hadith. Some of them they said al-ba' here it means al-qudra. Al-qudra على الجماع. Al-ba' means having the ability in terms of intimacy. This is one of the interpretations. The stronger interpretation is money, which means if you have someone, who can go out and with the money that he has can marry someone because people are willing to give to the daughters to someone with those who have resources, he said, then let us do it. If you can, or people do not understand that, then فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ, let him fast. So the people should not reject the person because of the faqr, but they do. And this is their option that they have towards their daughters because these are their daughters. Also hadith al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hadith of the lady who came to propose herself to the Messenger of Allah and said, Ya Rasulullah, marry me. And then Rasulullah said, La hajata li, I have no need for women, and he looked down. One of the Sahaba said, marry me, Ya Rasulullah, I want to marry her. If you don't want to marry her, this is a good deal, I want to marry her. So what was the mahar? He said, go find a mahar. He came back with nothing. Khatim min hadith. And even had, he said, go find khatim min hadith from metal. And even that he did not have. He said, what do you have? Quran. Based on the Quran, that was her mahar. So money and mahar is not always a must. If a man knows Allah and fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he should marry his daughter to someone that fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing, no one else. نعم. لعلي أجبتك شيخ.
نعم للفائدة نحن.
If you are married already and then you want to marry another woman and then your wife, she gives you an option, either me or her, choose one.
Society.
But he said, well, I will say choose one.
Yeah.
Choose one.
You want both of them.
You want both of them.
But the first one is forcing you to divorce her.
Well, okay.
Or you won't going to come into or you're not coming into the house.
Or you're not coming into the house.
She's a Somali woman.
Now look, a sister is entitled, if her husband wants to marry a second wife or third wife or fourth wife, that's her choice. If she wants to leave the marriage because it's mentally she cannot, because women mentally and emotionally when they become jealous they go to a different level. No, seriously, they go to different level. It's not the same. If a wife, shar'an, if a wife gets jealous, and because of her jealousy, she says some, like a statement of kufr, she's not whole accountable. Imam Malik, rahimahullah, they asked, and they said, wait a second. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was walking his wife, two of the Ansar, they saw him, this in the middle of the night. And when they realized this is Rasulullah, they start walking fast. And then he said, no, come back. This is Safiya. And so they said, the ulama said, why did the Messenger of Allah didn't want these two Sahaba to go home, not knowing the lady that was with the Messenger of Allah? And the Rasulullah feared if doubt towards the Rasulullah came to their hearts, that is a statement of kufr. if they doubted the dignity of the honor of Rasulullah, so who was she? Was she his wife? Maybe another woman? You know, that is very dangerous, right? Because just the thought was dangerous. But when Aisha radiallahu anha, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi, before his death, he slept with Aisha in the same room, and then when he thought she slept, she wasn't asleep, mashallah, he got up slowly and he walked slowly out of the house to Al-Baqiyah. And Aisha, she got up, put her niqab and hijab, and she said, which wife is he going to? I'm gonna, cut him. And then she walked behind him, and she realized that he's going to Baqiyah. So she wanted to know more, so he made dua for the people of Baqiyah. And then he turned suddenly, and he started walking back home. And she ran in the middle of the night. She ran. And when he came home, she's under the cover, said, pretend that she's asleep, but she's not sleeping. I said, what were you doing? Was it you who was ahead of me? She said, Ya Rasulullah, I was afraid that you will go to one of your other wives. And then he tapped on her chest. He said, you thought Allah and His Messenger will mistreat you and will trick you? So the ulama said, well, wasn't that a kufr? She thought bad about the Messenger of Allah. Wasn't that kufr? And Imam Malik said, no, when women get jealous, al-hukm yakhtalif. It's a different ruling. So if your wife says, listen, I can't deal with it, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, I can't deal with it, then you have to make a choice. And this has nothing to do whether she's from this nation or that nation, whether she's black or white or red or all women, under the skin, they're all the same. Whatever under that skin is all equal amongst all women. Now,
Shaykh Said, I think that when he gave the first wife a big gift, something, I'll just choose and leave one, I think.
هدية
يعني his mother, his son, and the daughter, just choice not like any items. This wife is the first wife. But if you make the gift and time to satisfy her.
Let me ask you, Sheikh, how many wives do you have? How many wives do you have?
This right question.
No, how, if you, I think that answers the question.
The next question is, someone has asked, if your husband jokingly said, I'm going to divorce you, does it count?
It's a very important question. Your husband jokingly says, I'm going to divorce you. First of all, divorce is not something you should joke about. It's not. It's very serious. And there's a hadith, and I don't want to talk about the snare of the hadith, but ثلاثة جدهن جد. Be careful. Three things that, when you say it seriously, they are taken seriously. When you joke about them, are taken seriously. One of them, it mentioned divorce. So I don't want you to joke about divorce, I'm going to divorce you, or even talk about it unless you're serious about it. If you're a man enough, you say to your wife, look in her eyes, say, I'm going to divorce, or you are divorced. That's it. That I'm going to, you're divorced. If it's not, keep your family at peace and do not bring the subject of divorce. Secondly, the man, he said, I am going to divorce you. Mashru'. For a condition. He didn't say, you're divorced, or I divorced you, but he said, I am going to. And that is, the wife is not divorced, definitely not divorced, because he did not put a condition. He put a condition, but timeless condition. He didn't say, I am going to divorce you tomorrow, and then we deal with tomorrow, or she dealt with tomorrow, but he said, I am going to divorce you openly. She's still his wife, and the man, he can go back and he can change his mind, and she's not divorced. No.
Assalamu alaikum. Why are Somali parents so against interracial marriage, especially if the person has good deen and character?
It's not Somali. Maybe you're asking the question and you're Somali. Or maybe the one that you want to marry is Somali, so you have that close relationship with that race. But it's not only Somalis. Palestinians the same thing, Lebanese the same thing, Indians the same thing, Pakistanis the same thing, Bengalis the same thing, Saudis the same thing, Kuwaiti, Emirati, every nation Muslim nation that you can think of is the same thing. If I go right now, I want to marry Emirati, white sister, or Qatari, or Yemeni, it would be a big issue. Big issue. So it's not only one race, it's all races. And it's something based on lack of education. We're not educated about our deen. If we know what is good for us, ya Shaykh, subhanAllah, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. We are brothers. Now, if I'm married from a Sudan family, they become my family. I will protect them. Anybody speaks about Sudanese, no, you don't know them, relax. And anybody who speaks about Somali, her family will protect me. So we are, like a brick helping each other. If I marry a Palestinian, whatever, it's the same thing. But we are so narrow-minded, that we think I am the best and no one else. And I witnessed a wedding that was a janazah. Not a janazah like that. I went to the wedding. It was Islamic Foundation in Canada. And usually when you go to the wedding, people are running, smiling, and all this. Everybody was gloomy, was janazah. I said, did anybody die? They say, worse. I said, what happened? I'm talking to a Somali brother. He said, Inanti Pakistani He said, our daughter been married by a Pakistani brother. By Pakistani. Janazah. On the other side, because the brother was Pakistani, the Pakistani community were in the state of janazah as well. And then just to the boy and the girl, they want to welcome everybody. So alhamdulillah, they brought Shaykh from Pakistan and Shaykh from India. MashaAllah, shiyukh. This was it was a night to remember. And they thought these two people will go to the stage and talk about how it's halal as to marry one from one another and all that. So the Pakistani brother, he stood up and he said, brothers, alhamdulillah, this is marriage, but I want you to remember, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam married a slave girl. So we okay, mashallah, tabarakallah. So he made his boy as Rasulullah and the Somalis as a slave. The Somali were, oh, kabah dura ya wali yama. The Somalis were furious. So, what? And then the Somali Sheikh went up and he said, it's okay. Zainab bint Jahsh. Zainab, she married a slave boy. So we're okay too, alhamdulillah, it's from the Sunnah. And those guys also, it was a war. So instead of, being a wedding, it was more like janazah. I think there are Somalis, they were sitting and they went out of the masjid from that door, and the Pakistan went from that door. They didn't even give salam to each other. So it's not Somalis, for the brother who writes, it's not a certain, we all corrupted like that. And I say corrupted, we are literally corrupted. So unless we cure ourselves and we go based in akramakum indallahi atqakum, we will not change. No.
Sheikh, I think we believe in culture more than deen.
I have to agree with the brother. He said, I think we believe culture more than deen, which is absolutely, true. So deen became culture, and the culture became, everything for us.
Let's say there were two women who had the same deen and religion and they respected and feared Allah. Let's say there were two women who had the same deen and religion and they respected and feared Allah. But you want to choose, but one is ugly and one is beautiful.
definitely need a water. Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. For the regular folk, for us, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us, تنكح المرأة لأربع. What is the first one?
مالها
لمالها.
لجمالها.
I don't remember the order.
Yeah, ولجمالها.
ولجمالها. So we marry women for the beauty. That's us. Right? That's us. All of us, we see two sisters, beautiful deen, mashallah, akhlaq, respect, everything. But one is beautiful, one, that's what it is. So, in the regular folk, we always look at Jamal. But if you have two sisters that are exactly equal in everything, then of course you marry the one that you're attracted to. Beauty, by the way, beauty is not all the same. Beauty is all about perception. What I think beautiful, you may not assume is beautiful. Right? Someone will say, wow, she is gorgeous. I know, like, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It's different. Because the way he sees is different. Right? It's different. Beauty, it depends on the person and what he thinks beautiful. We're sitting here, men. Some of you think tall women are beautiful. Some of you think short women are beautiful. Some of you think different size is beautiful. Some of you think light skin is beautiful. Some of you think dark skin is beautiful. Everybody has a different taste. So we can't say these two sisters, you know, one is ugly, one is beautiful. The other thing is, beauty now became, there was a time, like look at the time of Sahaba. If the sister, mashallah, she is big, that was beautiful. If the sister, if the wife that you want to marry is big, yani mashallah, Matina or Samina or she heavy set, that was even Somalia. Recently, wallahi, recently, until recently, my elders, they tell us, oh, you know, a big girl, you know, that was a description, because that was considered to be beauty or beautiful. But then we watched movies, we saw TV, and they told us for a girl to be beautiful, she has to be tall and skinny. She has to have blue eyes. She has to have blonde hair. Right? That's what a perfect picture of beauty in the West is. Look in Africa. Some of the girls, they have to put rings on her neck to make her neck long, and that's a sign of beauty. Look in Japan. In Japan, they used to crush the feet of the girl until the feet of her feet this big, and the smaller the feet, more beautiful she considered she to be. So they used to cripple the women, make her wear shoes, a little girl, so her feet would not grow bigger than this, and that was a sign of beauty. So it's different. Some people, they file their teeth, don't you know? Some people, they slice their cheeks. That's a sign of beauty. You can't say they're not beautiful. They're not beautiful to you and I, but they're beautiful to each other. So you gotta respect that. So when you say two sisters, one is beautiful, one is ugly, I can't buy that. Because beauty is relative.
إذا نظرت إليها أصلا.
هنا هذا الحديث إذا نظرت يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المرأة صالحة من إذا نظرت إليها صالحة. Is the righteous wife is when the one when you look at her, she pleases you. She pleases you. So, but usually people go what is TV or the media or the norm considered beautiful. But people of righteousness, they go with the salihat. The story of Ahmad bin Hanbal is being said It's been said that when he was getting married, he sent his and they say, Bani Fulan, they have 2 daughters, go see them. One of them, according to the standard of the society, she was beautiful. Big eyes, dark curly hair, beautiful skin, light skin. The other one, according to the standard of the society, she wasn't beautiful. One of her eyes was smaller than the other. She had a very unpleasant look of her set of hair. So when she came back, she started describing the younger one. Oh, she's like this, she's like this. He said, what about the older one? She said she has a one eye and something's wrong with her. Don't worry about her. And he said, which of the 2 have better deen? She said, the older one, with the one with, he said, that's the one I'm marrying her. That's the one I'm taking. It's not the second one, the younger one. So they're different level. So that's what I'm saying. For regular people, they go with the norm. What society tells you, you go along with. With the righteous people, you go with the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam hadith he said, وَلِدِينِهَا فَاظْفِرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ. So inshallah we will stop here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be with you. Jazakumullah khair. See you tomorrow at the same time. Assalamu alaikum.